everyone, and welcome to another video. Today we are at Joann. I don't know if you can see. And I'm going to be looking for a couple of fabrics to test a new pattern, which is really exciting. I'm going to be testing the Matchy boxer shorts. And yeah, hopefully we can find some cute fabrics today. It's really, really hot. And we'll see what we find. I'm back home now. It's actually a new day, and I wanted to show you what I got at Joann. So I actually ended up getting two different fabrics. I was really drawn to all of their solid cotton colors, and so I picked out two to give the matchy bow boxer shorts a go with. A note about the fabrics at Joann really quickly. There's obviously the large wall of quilting cottons that have a huge variety of colors and patterns, but those I find to be a little bit less durable and not as soft. They're not meant for garments, they're meant for quilting. And then if you go to the fashion apparel shirting fabric section, I found that a lot of those fabrics weren't actually 100% cotton. And I did find a couple that were, but they were about $17 a yard, and there were only a couple of colors that I wasn't crazy about. So I found another section kind of in the middle of the store that had their specialty cottons, and these are all 100% cotton, and it says that they're softer and more durable, and they do feel quite soft. So that's what I ended up going for. They were only about $5 or $6 a yard. And as I said, I got two colors. So the first one that really stuck out to me was this really pretty lavender, light purple color. These fabrics are like 44 inches wide, I believe, and I got a little bit less than 2 yards of this purple. For the second pair, I found this really bright blue, royal blue cotton, and I did pre-wash these fabrics. I want to note that for all of these really bright, punchy colors, I'm always a little bit worried at the beginning for the first wash that they're going to bleed. And so I didn't throw these into the washing machine together. I actually washed them by hand in the sink separately. And I'm really, really glad that I did, because both the purple lilac color and this blue completely tinted the water in the sink. And so if I had washed them together, I think the blue would have bled onto the purple. So something to note with these really saturated colors, I would recommend pre-washing them alone so that they don't bleed onto any of your other fabrics or garments. And then I also got this 1.5 inch soft waistband elastic. I have some elastic in my stash, but because these are like boxer short style of shorts, I have a really soft, really stretchy elastic waistband. So I picked up 2 yards of that, which should be enough for the two different pairs of shorts that I'm going to make. So I have already printed out and taped together my PDF pattern pieces and cut them out. So all that I need to do now is cut my fabric. And I think I've decided to make the extra small, and I think I'm going to go with the longer inseam. This pattern comes with a 3-inch inseam and a 5-inch inseam option for the shorts. So I think I'm going to go with the little bit longer length. So let's go ahead and cut the fabric. The first step in sewing the bow boxer shorts is to use your serger or a zigzag stitch and finish the edges of both the front and back pieces. Once sewn together, this seam will be pressed open and top stitched down, so it's important to finish the edges first. Also, you're only going to sew until the bottom notch on your pattern piece, as the side seams have a slit where the bow ties will go. After stitching, you press the seam open, making sure to press in the seam allowance at the bottom where the slit will be. Then you top stitch down the entire length on both sides. You also add a bar tack at the top of the slit for stability. Up next, we need to make our beautiful bow ties, and so here I'm just prepping the ties by folding them in half. The instructions then tell you to sew up one of the short ends as well as the long side edge, and then use a loop turner to turn the strap right side out, enclosing the raw edges on the inside of that strap. However, I wasn't actually able to do that. I've used my loop turner before to make straps, and both of those short edges were open, which allowed me to push the loop turner through the open edge, clip it on to the fabric, and then pull the strap right side out. I found it incredibly difficult to do with one of those short edges closed. So here you can see what I ended up doing instead. I just folded in all of the edges by about 1/4 of an inch, a really small amount, folded the whole strap in half, and then I just simply top stitched all the way around the rectangle, fully enclosing everything on the inside of the ties. Now, this isn't what the instructions say to do, but it did prove to be effective for me, and going forward, I'll probably try to sew the straps in a similar way, or using the loop turner but leaving both of the short ends open in order to turn the fabric and then tuck in those edges. Once I had made all 4 ties, I attached them to the shorts about 1 inch in from that open edge. And here's what one of the bows looks like. Up next, I sewed the front to the back at the inseam and then finished that edge with my serger. This creates one of the legs of the shorts, so I repeat the same process with the other leg next. At this point, the shorts feel like they're really starting to come together, and I can see the end is in sight. I'm also getting close to the point where I can try the shorts on, which is always really fun step of the process. So once I've sewn both of those leg pieces, I will put one inside of the other in order to sew the entire crotch seam from front to back. After sewing this seam, I will of course finish it with my serger. And now I'm going to turn the shorts right side out and take a look at how they're coming together. Next up, we will make a waistband casing for the elastic. I turned in about 1/2 inch first, and then a little over 1.5 inches, and I left a little opening where I will insert the elastic. One little tip that I have for you is to clip the corners off of your elastic piece. This will make sliding it through the waistband casing a lot easier to do. I decided to go ahead and hem the shorts, as you probably could see in the last clip, before doing the waistband. And this is because I wanted to try them on and see where the rise of the shorts would hit on my body. And I'm glad that I did that, because I ended up making the waistband elastic longer than I typically do, as the rise of these shorts hit at a wider point. So that's another tip for you as well. Speaking of the rise, I am going to make this pattern again, and I'm going to add 2 inches to the rise. I decided to do this because I like when shorts hit closer to my natural waist, and the rise of the purple pair that I made sit much lower on my body, and so I'm going to make another pair next.